Let us start dative bond. Dative bond is also called a coordinate covalent bond. Dative bond, another name is coordinate covalent bond. For this, we will take example. We will take a ammonia and a H plus we will take. Ammonia and H plus we will take. In the ammonia, nitrogen is the central atom. Its valence shell has 5 electrons. In the 5 electrons, 3 are unpaired, one is a pair. 3 hydrogen atoms are there in the ammonia. Those 3 hydrogen atoms will write. 3 hydrogen atoms have 1 electron each. These 2 electrons make a bond like this. Now, this ammonia, we got it. In this ammonia, the nitrogen valence shell has 3 bonds. 3 bonds means 6 electrons. This is one pair, totally 8 electrons. So this valence shell has 8 electrons, therefore it is a octet, we can say. This valence shell has 8 electrons, therefore it is having octet configuration. It is having octet configuration, we said. Then we are taking H plus. In the H plus, in the sense, it is a 1s0. 1s0 configuration, vacant orbital. 1s0 configuration. This is what, in the sense, vacant orbital, we can say. This H plus, in the sense 1s0, it is what, in the sense vacant orbital, we can say. Okay. Now, between this, now this nitrogen, we'll see. This nitrogen is having 3 sigma bonds and 1 lone pair. So therefore, 4 electron pairs. 4 electron pairs, in the sense, what is the hybridization, we'll see. SPD we will write. In this 4, first we will give to S, then for P we can give maximum 3. Now itself totally 4, therefore D will not come. So D is not coming. So what is hybridization, in the sense sp3 hybridization. Now this lone pair present in which orbital, in the sense sp3 orbital. This lone pair present in sp3 orbital. Okay. Now, nitrogen valence shell has 3 sigma bonds and 1 lone pair, therefore 8 electrons present in its valence shell, therefore it is octet, it is stable. Now H plus is having 1s0, that means it is not having any electrons, it is having only vacant orbital, therefore it is unstable. Now H plus is in need of 2 electrons in order to get the duplet configuration, that is helium configuration. But nitrogen is having octet configuration. So between nitrogen and H plus, what happens, in the sense, nitrogen is contributing electron pair to H plus, while H plus is contributing vacant orbital. Okay, so nitrogen contributes a lone pair to H plus, while H plus contributes a vacant orbital. H plus contributes vacant orbital. Nitrogen is contributing lone pair, while H plus is contributing vacant orbital. Okay, so this sp3 orbital and this s orbital undergoing overlapping. This sp3 and s undergoing overlapping. Okay, so due to overlap, what will happen, we'll see. This NH3 will write. This NH3, this is H plus. So what is getting overlapped? That part we'll see. So from nitrogen, sp3 orbital, from hydrogen, s orbital, from hydrogen H plus s orbital undergoing overlap. In this overlapping, how many electrons involved, in the sense 2 electrons contributed by nitrogen, that 2 electrons we will write in the overlapping part. That 2 electrons. H plus has contributed vacant orbital. H plus has contributed vacant orbital, but nitrogen has contributed lone pair. Okay, therefore now bond is formed. Now this electron pair is shared by H plus as well as nitrogen. So H plus is taking this pair of electrons. Therefore it is getting what, in the sense duplet configuration. Nitrogen, if you take 3 sigma bonds and 1 this coordinate bond, therefore it is also having 8 electrons. Okay, then how to represent this bond, that we will see. How to represent this bond, nitrogen, this H plus, this bond, how to represent, in the sense like this we are representing. This is called what, in the sense co in the sense 2 electrons. Ordinate in the sense donating. Coordinate in the sense 2 electrons donated by 1 atom. 2 electrons donated by one atom. Coordinate covalent bond. Why covalent bond? In the sense these 2 electrons shared by both sharing these 2 electrons. Therefore only we said nitrogen contributes lone pair. Contributing in the sense what? Giving per share. Contribution in the sense giving per share. Okay. Donation, contribution, both are different. Contribution in the sense giving per share. So that this bond is called coordinate covalent bond. Another name is called what? In the sense dative bond set. Now in this is called in this one, how the bonds are there means these 3 bonds are normal covalent bonds. These 3 bonds are normal covalent bonds, whereas this is coordinate covalent bond set. That means how these 3 bonds will be there. These 3 bonds will have same nature or different nature. How do we know it? For which experimental evidence says that this species has only one bond length. This species has only one bond length. Only one bond length in the sense all the 4 bonds have same nature. That's why only one bond length is there, isn't it? So all the 4 bonds have same nature. So in order to represent this bond also as like this one, what we have to do, that we'll see. Why we have to make this bond also as like this one? Because experimental evidence says it is having, this species is having only one bond length. Only one bond length in the sense all the 4 bonds have same nature. Then only one bond length will be possible. Okay, sir. So in order to make this bond also as like these 3, what we have to do, that we'll see. For that case, what we are doing means NH3 we are writing NH3. This H plus also we have written. This dative bond. This dative bond we are writing as normal covalent bond. This dative bond we have written as normal covalent bond. Okay. So dative bond is written as normal covalent bond. Is written as a normal covalent bond. Normal covalent bond by giving formal charges. By giving formal charges. Sir. Now this dative bond means what? One atom should contribute 2 electrons, another species should contribute vacant orbital. Then only it is called dative bond. Here which is contributing electron pair? Nitrogen is contributing electron pair, H plus is contributing vacant orbital. Okay. Now what we are saying means this dative bond we are converting as normal covalent bond by giving formal charges. Sir. Now this is a normal covalent bond in the sense what is the meaning means one electron belongs to this, one electron belongs to this. Okay, normal covalent bond means it has contributed one electron, it has contributed one electron. That is the meaning. Normal covalent bond means it has contributed one electron, it has contributed one electron. That is the meaning. That means for this net, if you see, for this one electron loss only, no. So for this one electron loss in the sense for this we can say one electron loss. Why one electron loss? Because we have converted this into normal covalent bond. So for this one electron loss in the sense for this one electron gain. So one electron gain in the sense give -1 charge. Give -1 charge. One electron loss in the sense give +1 charge. Give +1 charge. So that for this nitrogen, what charge we have to give in the sense +1 charge we have to give. For this nitrogen, we are giving +1 charge. For this H plus, we are giving -1 charge. For this H plus, we are giving -1 charge. This is having +1 charge. We are giving -1 charge. So what is net? 0. So 0 in the sense we need not write anything over this. Okay. So now this is only written as what in the sense NH4 plus. This name is called what means ammonium. This name is ammonium ion, we can say. Now in this ammonium ion, plus charge is there over nitrogen. Now we can say all the 4 bonds have same nature. Sir, how do we say all the 4 bonds have same nature? That we'll see. Now this is this nitrogen is undergoing sp3 hybridization. So if we take this bond, this is sigma bond. This sigma bond is formed by nitrogen sp3 orbital hydrogen s orbital, isn't it? In the same way, this bond also formed by what? Nitrogen sp3 orbital, hydrogen s orbital. Therefore, we can say that all the four bonds have same nature, we can say. Therefore, this species is having only one bond length. Okay, all the four bonds have same nature. Therefore, this species is having only one bond length, we can say. Okay, so now here we have given formal charges that you got an idea. So which is donor, for that you have to give +1, which is acceptor, for that you have to give -1. Okay, so when you are writing dative bond as normal covalent bond, you have to give formal charges. How to give formal charges? In the sense, for donor you give formal charge +1, for acceptor you give formal charge -1. Already your +1 is there, therefore it becomes 0. Sir, so ammonium ion is an example for what in the sense a dative bonding, we can say. Sir, next example we will take. Next example is what in the sense water plus H plus gives H3O plus. This we will see. So first we will take water. Water in which a central atom is oxygen, surrounding atoms 2 hydrogen atoms. Okay. Oxygen comes under 6th A group. 6th A group. Therefore, this valency shell contains 6 electrons. Oxygen comes under 6th A group. Therefore, this valency shell is having how many electrons? In the sense 6 electrons, we can say. So this hydrogen contains 1 electron each. Therefore, here bond is formed. So now this oxygen, in this oxygen, how many sigma bonds are there? Means 2 sigma bonds are there and 2 lone pairs are there. 2 lone pairs are there. Therefore, totally 4 electron pairs. So now we will write SPD, we will write. Now we have to go for hybridization. Hybridization in the sense, in this 4, 1 we will give to S. Maximum 3 we can give to P, because P subshell is having 3 orbitals. So out of 4, 1 we have given here, 3 we have given here, 1 plus 3, 4. Therefore, D will not be there. So D is not there for this. So what is the hybridization of this oxygen in the sense sp3? So now we can say this lone pair present in sp3 orbital, this lone pair also present in sp3 orbital. This is sigma 1. This sigma 1 is formed by sp3 orbital of oxygen and s orbital of hydrogen. So this is about water. Next we will take H plus. H plus is having what in the sense 1s vacant orbital. 1s vacant orbital is there in the H plus. Now H plus is in need of 2 electrons in order to get to duplet configuration, helium configuration. Oxygen, if you see 2 sigma bonds are there, that means 4 electrons, 2 lone pairs, that means 4 electrons, totally 8 electrons in its valency shell. Therefore, it is having octet configuration. So oxygen is having octet configuration, but H plus is in need of 2 electrons. Therefore, what does oxygen is doing in the sense? It is contributing electron pair to this H plus. Okay, it is contributing electron pair to this H plus. So what happens here in the sense, oxygen of water contributes electron pair to H plus, while H plus contributes a vacant orbital, vacant 1s orbital, we can say. So between them, say the overlapping is possible. This electron pair means this electron pair present in the sp3 orbital. This electron pair present in the sp3 orbital. Okay, that means a lone pair also, we can say. sp3 orbital containing that lone pair, that is okay. So here how the overlapping is possible, that point we'll see. Now water we have written, and 2 hydrogens, 1 lone pair we will write. So this sp3 orbital containing lone pair is overlapping with the 1s vacant orbital of H plus. 1s vacant orbital of H plus. Now how many electrons involved in the sense? 2 electrons involved here. These two electrons involved in the bonding. These 2 electrons involved in the bonding, we can say here. So next we will write this as a bond. It is a s orbital. Now hydrogen, here oxygen. Here what we can write in the sense like this, we can write here 1 lone pair is there. It is present in what orbital? In the sense sp3 orbital, we can say. So now we will write this dative bond as normal covalent bond, while we have to give formal charges. So what is the formal charge we are giving to oxygen? In the sense +1 we are giving. Why? Because loss of 1 electron. For H plus we are giving formal charge -1. Already +1 is there, therefore net charge is 0. So this is called H3O plus. This name is called a hydronium ion. It is called what means hydronium ion, we can say. Hydronium ion. Okay. So H3 in the H3O plus one dative bond is present, we can say. Okay. We will take next example. Ammonia and BF3. Ammonia and boron trifluoride gives what we will see. Ammonia structure, we know that central atom is nitrogen. It is coming under 5th A group. So this valence shell is having 5 electrons. That 5 electrons we are writing, and each unpaired electron making bond with hydrogen. This lone pair present in sp3 orbital. Okay. Next we will take BF3. In BF3 boron and 3 fluorine atoms present. Boron comes under 3rd A group. 3rd A group in the sense valence shell is having 3 electrons. Those 3 electrons making bond with fluorine. Now we can say this boron is having, this boron 3 bonds are there, therefore we can say trigonal planar. Trigonal planar. Now boron electronic configuration is what means helium 2s2 2p1. Helium 2s2 2p1. So 2s contains 1 orbital, 2p contains 3 orbitals for boron. This boron is having 3 sigma bonds. 3 sigma bonds means 3 orbitals will undergo intermixing and give hybridization. Therefore, what is hybridization means sp2, and this p orbital will be pure. Pure 2p orbital vacant will be there. Vacant will be there. So these 3 bonds formed by sp2 orbital provided by boron, and it is trigonal planar. In this boron now, the valence shell is having vacant 2p orbital. That vacant 2p orbital we will write here. It is perpendicular to the plane. Perpendicular to trigonal planar. It is what means vacant 2p orbital. Set. Now boron valence shell is having 3 sigma bonds and vacant 2p orbital. Therefore, for this this valence shell is having 6 electrons. 6 electrons in the sense less than octet. Less than octet means electron deficient molecule. So it is in need of 2 electrons in order to get octet. So it is in need of 2 electrons. But nitrogen is having octet configuration. So what nitrogen does in the sense, nitrogen is contributing lone pair to this boron. Boron is contributing vacant orbital. Okay. So here what is happening means nitrogen of NH3. Nitrogen of NH3 contributes. Nitrogen of NH3 contributes sp3 orbital, sp3 lone pair, sp3 lone pair to boron of BF3. Boron of BF3. While boron of BF3 contributes a vacant orbital. What vacant orbital in the sense sp3 vacant orbital. sp3 vacant orbital. Why it is sp3 vacant orbital, that we will discuss later, but we have written here 2p vacant orbital. Here we have written vacant orbital 2p, but here we are writing sp3 vacant orbital we have written. So why we have written like this, that we have to explain. Sir, okay. Now we will see. Now this nitrogen contributing lone pair. This is in sp3 orbital, and in the nitrogen 3 hydrogen atoms are present. Boron is contributing vacant sp3 orbital. Boron is contributing vacant sp3 orbital. In boron 3 fluorine atoms present. Okay. So nitrogen is contributing lone pair to vacant sp3 orbital of boron, but we have written here 2p vacant orbital, but we are saying sp3 orbital. Why is it so, that we will discuss later. So nitrogen is contributing lone pair of sp3 orbital to boron of BF3 sp3 vacant orbital. Okay. So like this a dative bond is formed. Now we will write this dative bond. This NH3 we have written. This dative bond we will write it as normal covalent bond. Then we will write this BF3. Now in this dative bond, nitrogen has contributed 2 electrons. Therefore for this we have to give formal charge +1. For boron we have to give formal charge -1. Okay. So why for nitrogen you have given +1? Because loss. For boron -1 because gain. Okay. Now we will say in this boron 4 sigma bonds are present. 4 sigma bonds in the sense 4 hybrid orbitals are required. 4 hybrid orbitals means that is sp3. Okay. In this boron 4 sigma bonds present. That means boron should provide 4 hybrid orbitals for bonding. Therefore 4 atomic orbitals from boron undergo intermixing. That is one 2s orbital and 3 2p orbitals. Therefore, boron is showing sp3 hybridization here. sp3 hybridization here. That's why we said boron of BF3 contributes a vacant sp3 orbital, we said. Okay, therefore, what is the hybridization of boron here in the sense sp3? But here, what is the hybridization of boron in the sense sp2? Okay, so boron hybridization here is sp2, but in this place is sp3. So boron hybridization is sp3. Nitrogen hybridization also sp3. This sigma bond is formed by sp3 orbital of nitrogen and sp3 orbital of boron. Okay, so this is what in the sense a dative bond. So between nitrogen and boron, what bond is created in the sense a dative bond is created? We can say here nitrogen is having formal charge +1 because loss, boron is having formal charge -1 because of gain. Sorry, okay. So this is about a dative bond we said. Next, we will say this is sp3 in the sense its shape is tetrahedral. It is sp3 in the sense its shape is tetrahedral. Okay, we will take next molecule. Next molecule is called what in the sense carbon monoxide. So in the carbon monoxide, dative bond is present. How it is present, that we will see. Now first we will take carbon atom and oxygen atom. Carbon valency shell is having 4 electrons because carbon valency shell is having 4 electrons. Why? Because it is coming under 4th group. Oxygen valence shell is having 6 electrons. Oxygen valence shell is having 6 electrons. That 6 electrons we will write like this. So how the bonding is possible, that we will see. First, this is one normal covalent bond. Normal covalent bond means both are contributing 1 electron each. This is also normal covalent bond. That means both are contributing 1 electron each. This is what in the sense a dative bond. In this dative bond, oxygen is contributing lone pair, whereas carbon is contributing vacant orbital. Vacant orbital. This is a lone pair. This is what in the sense a lone pair for this carbon. If bonding is so and so, then only carbon will get octet configuration. Now see, carbon is having 3 bonds. 3 bonds means 6 electrons. It is one lone pair, 8 electrons octet. For oxygen, if you see 3 bonds, 6 electrons, it is one lone pair, 8 electrons octet. Therefore, in the carbon monoxide, the dative bond is formed from where to where in the sense oxygen to carbon. Oxygen is contributing lone pair, carbon is contributing vacant orbital. Okay, but electronegativity, you see, which is having higher electronegativity? Electronegativity of oxygen is how much? 3.5. Electronegativity of carbon is how much? 2.5. But it is see how the dative bond is there. Dative bond is against electronegativity. Actually, higher electronegativity means that will gain. But here, which is gaining? Lower electronegativity carbon is gaining. Okay, therefore, here carbon is gaining electron pair. Carbon is providing vacant orbital for this dative bonding. It is against electronegativity. Therefore, here these are experimental facts. These and all we have to remember. So we have to study and we have to practice well. Then only we can remember. So this carbon monoxide we will write now like this. Dative bond we will write it as normal covalent bond. For carbon lone pair we will give. Oxygen lone pair also we are giving. Now formal charge we will give. Carbon is gaining, therefore -1. Oxygen is losing, therefore +1. Okay. So in carbon monoxide, how the dative bond is there, that we got an idea. So what is the hybridization of carbon in carbon monoxide, that we will see. In this carbon, one sigma bond is there, then 2 pi bonds are there, because triple bond means 1 sigma and 2 pi bonds. Carbon is having 1 lone pair. Carbon is having 1 lone pair. Okay. Hybridization in the sense hybrid orbitals do not explain pi bond formation. Okay, hybrid orbitals do not explain pi bond formation. Why hybrid orbitals are not explaining pi bond formation, that we'll see. Now this is the hybrid orbital. This is hybrid orbital. Now this is what in the sense p orbital. This is p orbital, and d orbital is like this. D orbital is like this. S orbital is like this. So between what pi bond is possible, between which pi bond is not possible. That means which will undergo lateral overlapping. That we will see. Now we will see whether s orbitals undergo lateral overlapping or not. That point we will see. Sorry. Now we will take, it is one s orbital, and this is one s orbital. This one s orbital we have taken. These two are s orbitals. Now here what is this overlapping? What type of overlapping it is? We will see. It is a nucleus. It is a nucleus. Now we will draw. We will write internuclear axis we'll write. We'll write internuclear axis. So we have drawn a internuclear axis we have drawn. So now here overlapping takes place along the internuclear axis. Okay, here overlapping takes place along the internuclear axis. Therefore, this is what bond means sigma bond. If overlapping takes place along the internuclear axis, then that bond is called sigma bond, but not pi bond. Therefore, SS overlap, S orbitals do not form pi bond formation. Okay. Next, hybrid orbitals we'll see. This is one hybrid orbital. This is another hybrid orbital. They are going for overlapping. Now see how the overlapping is there. See hybrid orbitals overlapping we have given. Okay, sir. Now we will say about nucleus. We will say for this nucleus at this center, for this nucleus at this center. Now this is called internuclear axis. Okay, internuclear axis we have given. Here where overlapping takes place, you see that here overlapping is possible. Here there is no overlap. Therefore, this is nothing but what do you say? How it will be there? This overlapping. This overlapping will become automatically, it will become like this. This is only that is called. Like this only they will be there. Okay, this will be there like this. Because here overlapping is there, here overlapping not there. Therefore, we can write like this. It is the internuclear axis. It is the internuclear axis. So overlapping takes place along the internuclear axis. Therefore, it is sigma bond. It is not pi bond. So hybrid orbitals will not form pi bond formation. Okay, sir. Between hybrid orbital and p orbital, will there be hybridization? Will there be pi bond or not? That we'll see. Now we will say this is what in the sense hybrid orbital. Sir. Now we will take a p orbital. We will take. Now we are taking a what in the sense a p orbital will take. Now we will take p orbital. This is p orbital. This is p orbital. Okay. So we have given p orbital here. So p orbital undergo overlapping here, but no overlapping here. Here overlapping is possible, but there is no overlapping here. That means here only one side, one end overlapping is there. Therefore, it is called end-on-end overlap. It is called axial overlap. That means this overlap is nothing but what means sigma bond. Therefore, it will not give pi bond. So pi bond in the sense between p orbitals, between d orbitals, between p and d, like this only pi bond possible. So pi bond in the sense pp orientation, pp overlap, dp overlap, dd overlap, like this means pi bond. So SS will not give pi bond, hybrid orbitals also will not give pi bond, hybrid orbital and pure orbital also will not give pi bond. Okay, therefore for saying hybridization, we have to consider what in the sense this sigma bond and this lone pair we have to consider for saying hybridization. This one sigma, one lone pair means totally 2 electron pairs. 2 electron pairs means give one to S, give one to P. Therefore, sp hybridization for this carbon. So for this carbon, what we can say means sp hybridization. So in carbon monoxide, carbon hybridization is sp. Okay. So in carbon monoxide, we said carbon hybridization is sp. We said. Next, we will take NO2 molecule. In the NO2 molecule, nitrogen is the valence shell. Nitrogen is the central atom. Its electronic configuration is helium 2s2 2p3. So 2s contains 2 electrons. That 2 electrons we have written. 2p contains 3 electrons. Those 3 electrons we have written. So see that nitrogen valence shell is having 3 unpaired electrons and 1 electron pair. 1 pair of electrons. We cannot make 5 unpaired electrons in nitrogen. Actually, it is ground state only. If we go for excited state, you may ask, if we go for excited state, it can't go for excited state because why it is not going for excited state in the sense valence shell is not having any more orbitals. Valence shell of nitrogen is not having any more orbitals. Therefore, this pair will not become unpair. It is these 2 electrons not becoming unpairing. Okay, therefore it will be as a paired only. So nitrogen valence shell will have 3 unpaired electrons and 1 electron pair even in excited state. Okay, but suppose if you take to third shell, suppose you are taking this electron to third shell in the sense that we will not consider under a chemical reaction as per the syllabus. Okay, so that don't take to third shell. Third shell is not valence shell. Second shell is the valence shell. Okay, sir. So nitrogen is having 3 unpaired electrons and 1 lone pair, we said. Sir. How the oxygen atoms are there? Oxygen atom's electronic configuration is helium 2s2 2p4. 2s2 2p4. So 2s we will write like this, 2p we will write like this. 2p we have written like this, 2p. So oxygen is having two unpaired electrons, therefore it can go for two bonds. That means it is in need of two electrons. Oxygen is in need of two electrons, we can say, because it is having two unpaired electrons. It is 6th group. Its valence shell is having 6 electrons. Therefore, it is in need of two electrons to get octet. Like this, we can say. Now we will take another oxygen. That another oxygen electronic configuration is helium 2s2 2p4. How we are filling? Say 2s is having one orbital, therefore two electrons. 2p is having three orbitals. That four electrons we are writing like this, disobeying Hund's rule. Here we have not obeyed Hund's rule. We disobeyed Hund's rule here, and we made vacant orbital here. Okay, wantedly we made vacant orbital here, though we are not obeying Hund's rule. Okay, here vacant orbital we provided wantedly. Sir, now we will take nitrogen. Nitrogen is having, what are the three unpaired electrons present in the nitrogen? One unpaired electron, two unpaired electrons, and this is one electron pair. Like this is there for nitrogen. Now oxygen atoms we will write. Now regarding oxygen atoms, regarding two oxygen atoms, one oxygen atom, another oxygen atom, we have written like this. Sorry, for oxygen valence shell is having how many electrons in the sense 6 electrons. Oxygen valence shell is having 6 electrons. Those 6 electrons we are giving as into mark. Now we will go for bonding. How we are going for bonding? You see that here these two electrons going for normal covalent bond, these two electrons going for normal covalent bond. Okay, then this electron pair goes as a dative bond. Sir, now here this electron is acting as a normal electron. This is electron is a what means lone electron. It is what means lone electron. Okay, see nitrogen can make a nitrogen is having three unpaired electrons. In that three unpaired electrons, two unpaired electrons have gone for bonding with the oxygen. One electron, one unpaired electron being as a lone electron, not lone pair. It is not lone pair because one electron, therefore lone electron we have to say. These two electrons making dative bond with this oxygen. Therefore, this oxygen is providing vacant orbital. So, in the form of hybridization, how to explain that we will see. Now this nitrogen, if you see, it is having one lone electron. Then how many sigma bonds means two sigma bonds present. How many pi bonds means one pi bond is present. Therefore, one lone electron means for that one hybrid orbital we have to give. Two sigma bonds means for that two hybrid orbitals we have to give. For pi bond hybrid orbital is not required, pure orbital we have to give. Therefore, nitrogen is providing three hybrid orbitals and one pure orbital. So three hybrid orbitals means from nitrogen, three orbitals undergo intermixing. What are the three orbitals undergo intermixing from nitrogen in the sense one 2s orbital and two 2p orbitals. Therefore, so from nitrogen, in the nitrogen one 2s orbital, and two 2p orbitals undergo intermixing. These are undergoing intermixing. In the p orbitals, p or 2p orbitals means three orbitals will be there. Out of three, two are going for intermixing. Remaining one 2p orbital is not going for intermixing, being as a pure. Okay, so these three orbitals are undergoing intermixing to give three hybrid orbitals. So we got three hybrid orbitals. Nitrogen is providing three hybrid orbitals. What are those in the sense? sp2 hybrid orbitals. This is one sp2 hybrid orbital. This is one sp2 hybrid orbital. This is one sp2 hybrid orbital. We can say. Then what about this? This is one 2p orbital, pure 2p orbital. This is a 2p orbital pure. Sir, now nitrogen valence shell is having 5 electrons. How to distribute 5 electrons, that we will see. Now one electron we will give here one electron, here one electron, and one electron we have given like this. That means in one sp2 orbital we will give two electrons, here one electron we will give. So 5 electrons are there in nitrogen. 5 electrons, how it will be present? 3 unpaired electrons, one lone pair. Lone pair in the sense one pair of electrons. Okay, so now we will see. Now this sp2 orbital and this 2p orbital of oxygen undergoes sigma bonding. In this sigma bond formation, nitrogen provides unpaired electron of sp2 orbital and oxygen provides unpaired electron of 2p orbital and gives sigma bond. So sp2p. Next you see that nitrogen providing sp2 orbital containing electron pair, oxygen providing vacant orbital of 2p undergo linear overlap, axial overlap to give sigma bond. Again I will say nitrogen providing sp2 orbital containing electron pair and oxygen providing vacant 2p orbital go for axial overlapping to give sigma bond. In this sigma bond formation, nitrogen has contributed a sp2 orbital, oxygen has contributed vacant orbital, that is p. Okay. Next you see that this oxygen is contributing this 2p orbital, nitrogen is contributing this 2p orbital. Okay, this oxygen is contributing off filled 2p orbital, nitrogen is contributing off filled 2p orbital. These two 2p orbitals undergo lateral overlapping to give what bond? In the sense pi bond. In this pi bond formation, both atoms providing p orbitals, therefore this pi bond is called a p pi bond. This pi bond we can call it as a p pi bond, we can say. Okay, so now you say that this lone electron present in which orbital? This is lone electron. Okay, this is lone electron, we can say. So lone electron present in sp2 orbital. This lone electron present in which orbital? sp2 orbital, we can say. Okay, so this is about NO2. Now we will give formal charges in NO2 we will give. Okay, formal charges we will give. If we give formal charge, how it will be there, that we will see. So this is N. Now double bond O. Dative bond we will write it as a normal covalent bond. Dative bond we are writing as a normal covalent bond we will write. Then we have to give formal charge. It is donor, therefore +1. It is acceptor, therefore -1. Then lone electron we will write. It is lone electron present in sp2 orbital. Okay, it is not lone pair. It is not lone pair. Only one electron. Okay, this electron present in the valence shell but not involved in bonding, therefore it is called lone electron, we have to say. Okay, we should not say lone pair. Lone pair means two, but here only one electron. Sir, okay. So this is about NO2. In NO2 dative bonding is there, we said. Okay, next we will take about NO3 minus. Now we will take about NO3 minus. Okay, NO3 minus in the sense central atom is nitrogen, the surrounding atoms oxygens we will write. Then minus charge you give to any one of the oxygen. Okay, for this oxygen we have given. Now we will give electrons, we will give O minus in the sense this valence shell contains 7 electrons. So it will make one bond. O minus means its valence shell contains 7 electrons, therefore it is in need of one more electron to get octet, so it can make one bond. Oxygen valence shell means it is containing 6 electrons because 6th group, so it is in need of 2 electrons, therefore it can make double bond, otherwise 2 single bonds, otherwise by providing vacant orbital 1 dative bond. Okay, sir, this oxygen comes under 6th group, therefore this valence shell is having 6 electrons. Nitrogen valence shell is having 5 electrons. Nitrogen valence shell is having 5 electrons. Nitrogen can make maximum how many bonds? That we'll see. Nitrogen, if we take a configuration, is what means helium 2s2 2p3, 2s2 2p3. Now these three unpaired electrons can make 3 normal covalent bonds. This pair of electrons can make dative bond while nitrogen act as donor. This is about nitrogen. Okay, so now we will see about bonding. Here a single bond is possible. Here double bond is possible. Here dative bond is possible. Okay, see that nitrogen is having 3 unpaired electrons, therefore it can make 3 normal covalent bonds. Those 3 are here. Nitrogen is having electron pair. Using this electron pair, nitrogen can make dative bond while it acts as donor. See, nitrogen is donor and making dative bond. Oxygen is acceptor by providing vacant orbital. It is about NO3 minus. So in NO3 minus, one dative bond is present, we can say. Sorry. Now we discussed about NO2 and NO3 minus. What is the difference? We'll see. In NO2, if you see,